Hey, good morning. Today's gonna be about building muscle, right? I'm gonna be a teacher one day. I'm gonna have my own class. I'm gonna have my own teacher, my own own class one day. It's gonna be pretty cool. So building muscle. First off, everyone has muscle. Let me put that down. Everyone has muscle. Everyone. You cannot be alive if you do not have any form of muscle. Uh, we know those who are losing muscle, they usually die or dead, right? So I want to point out that I get a lot of questions on how to build muscle. If you're not consistent with the Just Weigh It program, you're not going to build the muscle that you want. Simple as that. Simple as that. Here's why. If you don't do this, you will not get it. Homework. Do your homework. Do your homework. After doing your homework, you have to be what? Consistent. Give me a second. Right? Building muscle. Everyone has muscle. How to build muscle. Homework. And being consistent. I'm going to explain. You have to know what type of muscle you are looking for. Now, I deal with all types of people, from people who don't go to the gym at all, people who don't work out at all, people who play sports, people who just want to just stay healthy and go to the gym, or people who work out, or people who go recreationally, on all different levels, and people who want to learn, and people who actually need to build muscle for whatever reason. In any case of building muscle, you can build mass, you can use it to lose weight, you can lean up, you can fit into any clothing that you would like to, or hit any, what is it called, goal or event that's coming up, as we know today, right? So I help a lot of people out with those types of goals, but very few always get there. But out of that few, in the last couple of years, it's a lot. So that few was a very lot. Some were almost to their goals and stopped. Why? Because they didn't do their homework or continued their homework. Anytime you go to, think about this. You ever went to college and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, I'm talking about the ones who went to college and got a degree and is in the field of work, a line of work that they're in which the degree that they graduated from. They're in the line of work in which they graduated from, right? Okay, and you realize, oh shoot, this is the same thing that they were teaching in school. Maybe I should have paid attention more, right? Okay, it's the same thing from the Just Weigh It program. You do your homework, be consistent, be consistent. It's the simplest thing on the planet. All right, so let's put a clock, right? We're gonna put a clock. Whether you eat one meal a day to 8,000 times a day, you have to be consistent. Because going to the gym is easy. That stimulates the muscle, but it also, going to the gym stimulates the muscle, but also tears the muscle down. So we have 12, 3, 6, 9. If you saw my other videos about the 6.6 ounces, 7.5 ounces, 8-ounce meals, right? Okay, what's in those meals? Let's say, okay, I'm 160 pounds now. I'm 160 pounds. Right? Now I'm gonna show you what would I do if I wanted to build muscle. Now I'm very active, right? So if I wanted to build muscle, I would stay within the 8 to 10 rep range. 8 to 10 rep range. By textbook, if you go start hitting 15 or more reps, you're going into the high endurance range, which you would get leaner muscle, and it's for more of the cardio aspect and muscle endurance. But I want to stay amongst the hypertrophy, right? And I also want to, hypertrophy means you bring the muscle to its fatigue, it's got a nice pump, and then you can feed it and it'll rebuild to that size. So I'm 160 pounds times, let's say 1.2. I'm using the minimum. 12, 2, 3, 0, 6, 1, 2, 679, boom. 192. I need 192, right? Minimum daily of grams of protein. Now, let me show you something. So it's 192, right? Consistent. You can't play games with this. This is about consistency. So 192. How do you do that with this if you do the 6 ounce meal, 7.5 or the 8 ounce meal? All right, cool. 192, let's say we have 12 p.m., 3 p.m., 6 p.m., 9 p.m., right? And then the person who gets up in the morning, the 8 a.m. So we have an 8 a.m. here. 8 a.m., I'm just throwing out a number. 12 p.m., 3 p.m., 6 p.m., 9 p.m. That's about 5 meals, right? 192 divided by 5. 5 times what? 3? No, 5 times 4 is 20. So 5 times 3 is 15. 4, 2, 8, 40. So about 38. 38 I can play with. 38.2 I can play with. 38 to 45. So let's say 38 grams of protein or 40 grams of protein per meal. So that's 40 grams here. 40 here. Excuse me, 40 here, 40 here, 40 here. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Excuse me, 4, 8, 12, 16. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. That's about 200 grams of protein. That's about 200 grams of protein for the day. That leaves about 8 grams to play with. So I got my 200 in. Now, what's the other thing, right? Your multivitamin. Whoop. And your multi-mineral. Omega-3. Oils. This is the foundation right here. Okay? And another thing is carbs. You can play with your carbs. Carbs, as long as, by anatomy and physiology says, as long as you take in a minimum of 100 grams of carbs a day, your body will not tap into your muscle for energy. So, this is the breakdown. I'm having a meal here, whether it's 6 ounce, 7 ounce, 8 ounce, whichever one. I'm having a meal at 8 a.m., 12 p.m., 3 p.m., 6 p.m., 9 p.m. Okay? That's 5 meals, right? Now that's 5 meals, boom. That's for that person. That's 5 meals. Now, by the end of the day, you would have gotten your minerals, your multivitamin, your omegas, your proteins that you needed for your body to grow. You miss any one of these, the following day, your body will go into catabolic mode because it's basic subtraction. You can't play with this. You have to be consistent. All right, cool. So this is for the person who can lock down 5 meals, right? Now, I'm going to leave this here. So I'm going to just scratch this off. Scratch this, scratch this, scratch this. Let me see. Move this. I'm going to scratch this off. Now, let's say for the person who eats 4 times. Well, I didn't jump. So 5 meals to 4 times. So you know those who wake up in the morning and just only have a coffee, then a couple hours later they start at 12. So 192 divided by 4. 4, 4 is 16, 4, 5 is 24, 4 is 16, 3, 32, 8. The number just went up, see? So 48, simple as that. 48, 48, 48, 48. Along with this and carbs as well. So if you put, so it's 4 meals. I didn't do the carbs last time, forgive me, but you'll get it now. So it's carbs, let's say 25 grams of carbs, 25 grams of carbs, 25 grams of carbs, 25 grams of carbs. And I'm speaking of starchy carbs too, like rice, potatoes, lasagna, pasta, different things like that, bread. The vegetables, they burn really fast, but they're pretty good too when you want to lean out. So carbs here, carbs this, carbs here. Got my 100 grams of carbs in for the day minimum to stay lean. And then I have my intake of protein for the day. This right here will allow this person who eats 4 times a day to put on muscle, to rebuild from whatever activity you're doing. Let's take this away. Okay, so I'll make this clean. So remember, this is 6 o'clock p.m., 3 p.m., 9 p.m., 12 p.m. Now let's do it for the person who's doing 3 meals a day. So let's scratch it. Okay, 3 meals a day. Maybe you just happen to get up late, 3 p.m., 6 p.m., 9 p.m. 3, right? 18, 3, 6. 18, 1, 12, 4. 64. It's math, people. 64. 64. So 12, so let's put 33 grams of carbs. 33 grams of carbs. 33 grams of carbs. As I'm doing this, I know this is just fractions. It's pretty cool, right? 33 grams of carbs along with this again too. See? So 64, 64, 64. Whoops. 64, 64, 64. See? By the end of the day, you would have gotten your grams of protein. You cannot miss. You cannot miss. Do not miss. It's the same thing. I'm just breaking it down to you in the most simplest form. Why am I doing this instead of a workout plan? Because this is the part where people mess up the most. If you're inconsistent, your body will be inconsistent. Simple as that. So now let's do the 2 meal people. So let's just say 2 meals, right? 2 meals. A lot of people doing the 16-8 or the 18-6, right? Intermittent fasting, or a lot of people are doing the How to Eat to Live, which I like to, which I promote mostly, the How to Eat to Live. So he says you can eat 1 meal every 12 hours or just 2 meals a day. Whatever case if you have strenuous activity. So let's say we have 12 here and 6 p.m. here. Now in How to Eat to Live, he says you have a 2 window period to eat. All right, cool. Now think of it as having an appetizer, a main course, and a snack. So let's say 92 divided by what? 2 meals. As long as you get this in by math, your body will comply. Comply. Just came out. So 8. So 2 times 9 is 18, right? 1, 12. 2, 6. Aha! 96. 96. 50 grams of carbs, starchy carbs at that. 50 grams of starchy carbs right there, bada bing, bada boom. But like I said, if you're trying to lean out, you stick to all vegetables. But because of training, that's how you build muscle. 96 grams of protein in here, you have about 2 hours to eat, and you have about 2 hours window to eat here. And then that's simply it. That's simply it right there. So let's go to 1 meal a day. This is why it works, people. This is why it works. I always have conversations when I get into the teachings of speaking about the human body and spiritual talk. When I get around the brothers and sisters and we're talking about the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we always come down to the fact that none of us can't and don't know how to actually go to a lab and create a human body with a spirit and a soul, but we know how to have intercourse and make one. That's the only way, and we know 9 months later it comes out. But as far as when it comes to the math and calculations of the body, the more consistent you are with something, the more your body will actually result in whatever that you're doing. So 192, so let's say 6 p.m. is the 1 meal, right? 192 grams of protein, look how simple that is. 1 meal, 192. You can get that in 1 meal. You definitely can. You can get that in 1 meal. You can get that in you can get that in 1 meal. Most definitely, you can get that in 1 meal. Right? Now, there is a difference, but I'll go into a difference of eating multiple times out of the day to eating 1 meal out of the day. I just wanted to go with the math of consistency of doing your homework where it comes to the kitchen. You have to have your protein in grams, carbs you can play with, but multivitamin, multimineral, omega-3 oils, and a minimum of 100 grams of protein a day. Minimum of 100 grams of carbs a day so your body doesn't tap into your muscle and use it for energy. That right there, my folks, on the Just Weigh It program, 6 ounces, 7.5 ounces, 8 ounces per meal. You can break it down. Now, in each of these meals, you may not even come close to like the 2 meals, right? Like the 2 meals, the 3 meals, the 2 meals, and the 1 meal. You may not be able to weigh and measure each meal per se to equal out to the grams of carbs and protein that you need, although you still need a food scale to measure out each food item that you're eating, to measure out the grams of proteins and carbs and fats that you're getting in each item of food that you are eating during that meal, whether it's 1 meal or 2 meals, or you can Google it and it can give you the grams and ounces that you have to weigh each food to get the protein and the carbs and the fats that's in there. Then you can do your own research on the multivitamins, the multiminerals, and omegas that you need daily for yourself. So this is where the Just Weigh It program is just weigh it. Just weigh it. It's just as simple as that. So that's it for the building muscle. That's simple as that. Workout programs I'll go over in the future, but this is it right here. Peace.